Well, everyone, the Samsung Galaxy S10e, in my opinion, is a very interesting phone that Samsung has made. And I definitely probably would say that if you're going to go ahead and buy a phone, I probably wouldn't say that, S10e would be the first one I'd recommend, but it's a very decent phone. And if you're in the market, you could actually buy a Galaxy S10e and still have a very good time with this particular device in this day and age. Now, with the exterior of the S10e, this has always been the most insane thing to me. They made this phone look almost identical to the Galaxy S10. There were some cut corners here and there, but for the most part, Samsung did a really good job with this particular phone. You were getting a 5.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display, which was about the same size as something almost like a, iPhone 10. And I like this phone size. It was one of the last small, good flagship phones that Samsung made. But, after this, if you want to call the S24 and S23 small, you can. But this was a much smaller phone than those ones. And I love the size of this phone, and a lot of other people did too. But I love that this display didn't really cut too many corners. It was a 1080p display, and it looked very good. Still to this day, when I pick up my S10e and I kind of mess around with it here and there, I still kind of feel like this is an excellent panel for this type of, display and this type of phone, which is awesome. On the bottom, USB Type-C port, headphone jack, and a micro SD card slot. Those types of things you just can't really find in a phone anymore. It's very, very hard to come across those types of, I/O and this type of, in most phones nowadays. And that's a crazy thing from my perspective. So I'm looking at a phone, right, like the Galaxy S10e. The fact that it has that type of I/O is insane. Yes, it is an older phone, but it was still a really nice thing that Samsung threw, on this phone at that time. On back, full-on glass back, and that dual camera setup on the back was a very nice touch as well. It had, a wide and ultra-wide lens, 4K 60 on the front and the back, and that's another really cool thing about this phone. The fact that it, again, wasn't this superly massive expensive phone. It was relatively cheap and really easy to kind of afford. It didn't cost an insane amount of money. But the fact that it was actually, giving you a very good camera that actually still holds up very, very well was another thing that was excellent and just really good from this phone. I also love that this phone had reverse wireless charging. I love being able to just pop different products on the back of my phone, and this one was actually giving me that. It gave me the capability of having that reverse wireless charging, which was a very cool thing, on this phone, which I loved a lot. I would also say on the performance side, it's still a pretty good performing phone. It really doesn't feel that bad or that slow for the most part. And really whatever I do with it, I usually have a pretty good time with it anyway. So, still big games and big apps, it handles it okay. It doesn't handle it horribly. You still have 6 gigs or 8 gigs of RAM depending on what you want to do. And that 855 chipset, yes, it's old, but you kind of know that this is an old phone. And that's the thing. When you think about this thing as a 2019 phone, as a 2019 mid-tier phone, it's actually pretty insane. So I feel like the S10e is still a pretty decent device. Like I said, it would not be the first phone I'd recommend, but it still has a lot of capability, for it being a, a 5-year-old, mid-tier phone. So that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.